What is up, you guys? We are officially at the halfway point of the 2022 NBA season. All-Star voting has begun, playoff positioning officially matters, and trade season has already kicked off. It is a great time to watch NBA basketball. At right about now, a lot of YouTubers I enjoy watching tend to make mid-season grading or ranking videos, and I always tune in to see what the general consensus is around the NBA world. Today, I also wanted to chime in. We're going to discuss my NBA award frontrunners up to this point. We will look at my 5 most valuable players, defensive players, most improved players, and rookie of the years. If you are wondering where the other awards are, let me explain quickly. I do not care about the coach or executive of the year. I feel those awards are pretty much decided by who the best team is. I agree, there are bad coaches like Alvin Gentry and Jason Kidd, but for the most part, like 90% of the NBA's coaches would win a championship if they had the best team. It is largely an interchangeable role. And for the Sixth Man Award, I just see this as a dumb, old way of looking at basketball player roles. The sixth man is the best player who for some reason does not start, because the coaching staff has it in their head that some other guy needs to start and play less than 15 minutes. Players in the running for the Sixth Man Award really have no reason not to be starting. It is a dumb award. So with all of that out of the way, please like the video, subscribe if you like NBA content or basketball content in general, and let's get started. We will be going from least exciting to most exciting with these awards, so we will begin with the most improved player. This award was the most difficult to come up with 5 guys to put above the rest, because honestly, I would say this is a 3-man race, but there are 2 other guys I want to mention. First of those other 2 is Kevin Love. It has been a while since Love has been noteworthy in the NBA. These past couple of years especially, he has been forgettable, dealing with injuries and with some mental health issues. But this year, things have gotten off to a very good start in Cleveland and for Love. Playing decreased minutes, he's actually shooting the long ball and rebounding at near career high rates despite being now 33 years old. Love looks to be gearing up for a competitive playoff run. The other honorable mention I want to talk about is a lottery pick from 2018 who floundered on the bench for 3 years before finally putting something together this season, Mo Bamba. The Magic are the worst team in the NBA, which certainly hurts their chances at winning this award, but Bamba has filled out and is stronger than ever. This has helped him becoming a rim protector and a pretty good rebounder. But all things considered, I don't really think he'd be playing a big role on an actual competitive team, so he's very low on my top 5 here. Now for the real top 3. First we have Darius Garland. At first I was kind of hesitant to put Garland on this list because he was actually a pretty good player last year, but he has made improvements this season and the Cavaliers have improved dramatically, so I have to say he gets the nod. And honestly, he could be getting some All-Star votes too. Next guy I have is another Cavalier, Jarrett Allen. Allen went from being handed what some argue to be the worst contract in 2021 offseason to a player getting serious All-Star votes and vying for a home court advantage playoff spot. He is shooting a career-high 70% from the field on a career-high attempts, while also rebounding and defending at career-best rates. He has turned into the exact center the Cavaliers need. And lastly, the 5th guy I want to talk about is Dejante Murray. He is the everything man for the Spurs. He has assumed DeRozan's role beautifully thus far, and though the team currently is on the outside of the playoff picture looking in, I'm confident they can claw their way right back into the play-in game contention. Murray leads his team in points, assists, and steals, while being second in rebounds by just a hair. He also is the current league leader in steals per game. He is one of the best all-around players in the league right now. So quick recap here, my 5 frontrunners for the most improved players are in no particular order, are Kevin Love, Mo Bamba, Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen, and Dejante Murray. Let me know who you have down below. Now let's talk about the Defensive Player of the Year, one of the most important awards in deciding who actually has a chance of winning a championship. all 5 of these guys I would say could genuinely win this award. It just depends on how the second half of the year goes for them. First, we have the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert. People are very critical of Gobert, overstating his weaknesses and underappreciating his strengths. But Gobert is the king of rim protection in the NBA. Very few can alter shots like him while also rebounding as well. He currently leads the entire league in rebounding at over 15 a game. You can say what you want about his ability to close out around the perimeter, or the fact he can't really space the floor or even dribble the basketball, but at the end of the day, he also leads the league in defensive win shares, as well as overall win shares, and his Jazz are 4th place in the West, 5th in the NBA as a whole. Pretty much the opposite in every way. Next I have Draymond Green. Overappreciated in my opinion, but nevertheless still a very important piece to the 2nd place team in the league, Golden State Warriors. Green isn't really a star at any one thing on the defensive end of the court, but he is really good at just about everything. He has quick hands and long arms that help him around the perimeter, and despite his short stature, he is an above average rim protector. He currently is 3rd in the league in defensive win shares. Next, I want to mention Myles Turner, an often overlooked rim protector extraordinaire thanks to his team's lack of success. Turner is leading the NBA in blocks per game for the 2nd consecutive season while ranking just outside the top 10 in defensive win shares. I feel that if the Pacers do decide to trade Turner to a playoff contender, then he will instantly be brought up more seriously in Defensive Player of the Year conversations, but as of right now, due to the lack of team success, I don't think he has a good shot at winning the award. Next is a more perimeter specialized defensive player, Dejante Murray, his 2nd award I have him competing for. Everything I said about Murray, repeat. He is the league leader in steals per game, while also grabbing 8 rebounds a night, and he is tied with Myles Turner in defensive win shares. He is not getting moved this deadline, so his ability to win this award will come down to the Spurs climbing the playoff ladder, which is probably pretty low. And lastly, I want to give some attention to Lonzo Ball of the surprise Chicago Bulls. It took a while, but now in year 5, it appears Ball has finally found a situation where he can thrive. His all-around game has reached a career best, especially on the defensive end of the floor. He currently sits 3rd in the NBA in steals per game, and I would say of these 5, he is the 5th most likely to win the award. But who knows, if the Bulls hold on to the number 1 seed in the East, you could start seeing some Lonzo Ball momentum pick up. So once again, my 5 Defensive Player of the Year candidates are Rudy Gobert, Draymond Green, Myles Turner, Dejante Murray, and Lonzo Ball. Let me know who you have winning the award down below. Time for some people's favorite award, the Rookie of the Year. A possible glimpse into who will be the face of the NBA in the future. I have 5 candidates to list, but I would say only 4 of these guys really have a shot to win it. So we will start with that honorable mention, Herbert Jones of the Pelicans, who, fun fact, he has the same name as my 96-year-old grandpa, which I find kind of funny because Herbert is just such an old name. Beyond that though, Jones is a really talented player on both ends of the floor. The traits that I look for in young players who are destined to have long careers are shooting efficiency, durability, and defensive ability. These are the 3 crucial attributes that often get overlooked by things like athleticism and one-on-one scoring that are pretty short-lived. Jones, as a rookie, is already shooting a 48-38 split with 1.5 steals a game and a block. He has the blueprint of a guy who will hang around the league for a very long time, but the Pelicans are garbage, and his overall production offensively is not as spectacular as some of these other guys, so he's definitely not going to win the award, but I wanted to give some credit to this lesser-known 2nd-round pick. The first of the 4 actually vying for the award in no particular order is Franz Wagner. Wagner is an offensive specialist who has the ball in his hands more than most rookies, but even so, he has the poise on the court of a player in their prime. Wagner is relatively efficient both inside and out, he can distribute the ball pretty well for a wing, and he has no stick in the mud defensively. He was selected 8th overall in the 2021 NBA draft, and only half a season in, there's a couple teams already regretting their decisions at the top. Next, I want to talk about Evan Mobley. Mobley is hearing his name brought up in Defensive Player of the Year conversations, but I think that's a little premature. However, you cannot deny that that is the path that he is on. He moves way better than I anticipated, both with the ball in his hands and on defense, and his versatility on the defensive end as either the 4 or the 5 is very useful to the pretty deep Cavaliers team. His biggest advantage helping him out in the hunt for this award is his team's success. Next, I want to give attention to Josh Giddy. His shooting efficiency has room to improve, but every other aspect of his game has looked fantastic thus far. He can create for others like a veteran, his rebounding is much better than expected, and defensively he isn't a stick in the mud. Of all these rookies, I think Giddy may have the highest ceiling. But as of right now, he's playing very well, and he is in the hunt for the Rookie of the Year. Lastly, we have the number 1 overall pick, Cade Cunningham. It took a long time for Cunningham to start performing well in the NBA, as an injury, then a stretch of limited minutes held him back greatly, but he has finally turned the corner and begun showing the league what he is capable of. His playmaking and decision-making with the ball rivals the best veteran point guards in the league, and he no doubt will be an all-star someday. But as of right now, he has some improving to make. So my 5 Rookie of the Year candidates are Herbert Jones, Franz Wagner, Evan Mobley, Josh Giddy, and Cade Cunningham. Who do you have? Time for the most exciting award handed out every season, the Most Valuable Player. Now, what does it actually mean to be the MVP? Are you the best basketball player in the league? The best player on the best team? The player whose presence has the most profound impact on a team? Well, it kind of just depends. The MVP does not come with any definition other than its name, so here are my 5 MVP candidates. I am sure a lot of you will take offense to my 5 and will have a completely other 5, but in my eyes, these are the 5. So once again, in no particular order, we're going to start with the reigning MVP, Nikola Jokic. Due to injuries, the Nuggets are a worse team this year than last, but Jokic remains constant. 25 points and 7 assists is fantastic. But have you noticed his career high average of 14 rebounds a game? He still shoots the ball very well. He is a very positive player on the defensive end. And the Nuggets, without their second and third best players, remain over 500 in the Western Conference. I don't understand how you can hold the lack of Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. against Jokic's MVP case. This is the most valuable player. Singular. That's what Jokic is. But what about the reigning finals MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo? He is as talented now as ever. He has already won 2 MVPs and a Defensive Player of the Year, and it's not like he has fallen off, so why is he not the front runner for the award right now? Similar to the Nuggets, the Bucks have been without 2 of their 5 starters for pretty much all of this season, yet remain 10 games over 500 and sit 4th in the East. That kinda sounds like an MVP to me. But wait, there's more. Another former MVP, Stephen Curry, is having a comeback Player of the Year season. His numbers are down compared to when he last won the award, but 26 points and 6 assists per game with a 38% three-point shot on a career-high 12 attempts per game is ridiculous. His Warriors are the second best team in the NBA as of me recording this. When Curry plays, the Warriors fight for championships. When he sits, they are a lottery draft team. That sounds like a profound impact to me. Okay. I get that you guys are probably tired of hearing familiar names brought up in MVP conversation, so let me give you someone new. Someone who's not often talked about with this award, Demar Derozan. At 32 years old, Derozan is having his best season in the NBA of his career. 26 points, 5 boards, 4 assists on 49-35 shooting split is fantastic. But like the other guys on the list, his impact is more than just numbers. Derozan has rejuvenated his career and is helping a team of ragtag misfits who have been cast away from their former teams to become one of the best teams in the entire NBA. The Bulls currently sit atop the Eastern Conference with the 3rd best record in the entire league. He is an MVP in a lot of people's eyes. But for my 5th option, we're going to go even more unheard of. You know who I think deserves to be in the conversation? It is Ja Morant. He is the most electrifying young player in the NBA. He has ripped the title of best player in the 2019 NBA draft from Zion Williamson and made all of New Orleans question their life decisions. I know this will trigger some people, but I mean, if you really look at it, Morant is outplaying Derrick Rose the year he won the MVP at the exact same age. Morant is the reason the Grizzlies are where they are, a position nobody, not even their front office, anticipated at the start of the season. That is as MVP as it gets. So for the last time, here is my recap of my 5 MVP candidates: Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Stephen Curry, Demar Derozan, and Ja Morant. Who do you have? So that wraps up my 5 picks for the 4 awards that matter. 19 players in total were discussed here, and I am sure some of you feel very strongly about who I did or did not talk about. So please let me know down below. Either way, please like the video if you have not already, subscribe if you like basketball content, and I will see you all next time.